What's up, everyone? This is Donald with ComputeHub. We're a public cloud computing provider with a focus on low-cost, easy-to-use CPU and GPU computing and infrastructure as a service. If you haven't signed up for our platform yet, we do offer a free sign-up trial credit to all new users, so you can try us out. No obligations at all. No credit card required either. So today we're going to be looking at how to configure your network and firewall within the ComputeHub platform once your instance virtual machine is up and running. If you haven't done that yet, check out the link to the description of a previous video I've created that shows you how to quickly create a cloud computing instance on our platform. If you'd rather have it in written documentation form, I'll also link our written doc as well. So we'll go ahead here and get started. As you can see on my screen, I'm on the ComputeHub main dashboard, and we will go ahead and over on the left navigation here, we'll go ahead and click compute, and you'll be within instances, and you'll see your list of running instances here in this screen. So for the instance that you want to get working and accessing the internet and being available to change the firewall rules for, you're going to go ahead and click that instance, and you'll deep dive down further into the configuration of that instance. Where you want to go next is under NICs, and you'll see the network associated with that instance. So go ahead and click here. And here you'll be within the network associated with the instance that you want to open up. So first thing you want to do is you want to update the egress rules. So the egress rules basically allow your instance to access the internet. If you don't change this, then once you're in your instance through our built-in console or via SSH, your instance won't be able to hit the internet. So the first thing I'm going to do is open that up, and for simplicity I'm just going to open it completely up to allow everything to go out of my instance but not necessarily come back in. So we'll go ahead and click egress rules, and if you want to get more complicated you can change the source side or destination side or all these things, but if you want to just keep it simple, you can just change the protocol to all and then just click add. So now at this point, our egress rules, we've opened it all up, so your instance will be able to access everything on the internet. So from here, we're going to go ahead into the firewall rules, where we'll be able to change the firewall, add port forwarding ports, you name it, depending on what you want to do in your instance. For today, the example I'm going to be doing is to allow your instance to be accessed via SSH, because that's a pretty important thing if you want to be able to access it easily. There is a built-in console that you can access via within this ComputeHub dashboard here, but for other sake, you might just want to be able to SSH in, which I typically do as well. So from continuing in this page, we're going to go ahead and click on public IP addresses, and then you'll want to click on the public IP address associated with your instance that you want to change the firewall rules for. So once we're in this public IP, you'll see your public IP over here. You want to go ahead and click on firewall. And for our example, we're wanting to go ahead and open up port 22, which will allow SSH into our device. So we'll leave the source CIDR blank to allow all, and we'll go ahead and just put in the start port and end port with the TCP protocol. So again, typically for SSH it's port 22, so I'm just going to go ahead and add it. So here you'll see it down here. And one more thing, we do have to go ahead and click into port forwarding and also add in port 22 here as a TCP protocol. So the thing to notice here within the ComputeHub platform is you can have a private port and a public port. Your private port for example, SSH is going to be 22, but if you wanted to make the public port different, say you want it to be 222 as the SSH public port, you can put that in here and it'll still route through port 22 internally and be able to access SSH here. But for simplicity's sake, I'm just going to keep it the same, and I'll click add. It'll ask you which instance you want to add it to, and you'll go ahead and click select and press OK. So now we should be able to access our instance via SSH. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up PuTTY. If you need help or don't know what PuTTY is, it's a terminal emulator that I love to use for SSH. We also created a video on how to install and set up PuTTY to be used with ComputeHub or other cloud virtual machines. So you can go ahead and check out that video. I'll link it in the description as well on how to get that going. So I already have this configured for this example, so I'll go ahead and load up the config for this instance just to double check that we can now SSH in. So I'll pull up the username for our platform. The default username is Ubuntu. And there we go, we're in. So that's how we know it was successful. If we want to double check that we can hit the internet, we can ping Google, which is 8.8.8.8, and you'll see we're getting response back from Google. So that's good based on the firewall egress rules that we set up. One more thing, if you want to be able to ping your virtual machine from outside of your instance, you need to do one more firewall rule in order to do that. So if I just go into my computer PowerShell and I try to ping this instance, I'm not going to get any response. So if you want to be able to ping, you go ahead and go back to Firewall, and you're going to want to add an ICMP protocol. And you can leave everything else blank unless you want to get more complicated, but just add that here. And now you'll be able to ping it. So we'll try one more time. Bam. And there you have it. That's a basic config for firewall and egress rules within the ComputeHub platform. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you like these videos and want to see future updates. And again, I'll be linking some links in the description on different videos and to our website and whatnot, so you can check those things out.